From Austin Field in Auburn, Maine, this is coverage of boys high school baseball as the Edward Little Red Eddies play host to the Oxford Hills Vikings as we move into the middle part of our spring 2021 season. I'm Caleb Lamb here on BRG Sports. Thanks for joining us for what should be a good matchup between two teams that have enjoyed a good start to the season. The Vikings still unbeaten. The Red Eddies only one blemish on their record. Now these two teams will battle it out as we move, as I said, into the meat of the season. As we get into the middle of May and only into the first week of June goes this condensed spring sports season, but should be a fun one. And thanks for tuning in to our Biz Realty pregame show. Vikings right now on the field going through their final defensive warm-ups as some fungos hit into the outfield to get a little bit of a feel for how the wind that is swirling slightly in the outfield here at the Austin Field near Mount Appetite will affect fly balls. Edward Little has finished their warm-up, so we are just a few minutes away from getting things started with our first inning. Let's take the opportunity to take you through our starting lineups presented by Napa Coastal Auto Parts. And we'll begin with the visitors. The Oxford Hills Vikings will look like this. Nick Bennett, the second baseman, will lead things off for the Vikings. Eli Soren at third base bats in the second spot. Ethan Cutler, the shortstop, with number 4 on his back. He'll be the third hitter, and batting cleanup is the catcher, Andrew Merrill. Fifth in the lineup, and getting the starting nod on the mound today, Wyatt Knightley will be the number 5 hitter. Isaiah O'Farrow bats 6th and plays first base. Hunter Tardif is your designated hitter for the Vikings. He'll bat 7th in the order. Tyler Blond at center field will bat 8th, and rounding out the batting lineup, Matthew Doucette out in left field. That's how the Vikings will look. How about the Red Eddies of Edward Little? Patrick Antoine, the second baseman, will start as the leadoff hitter today. Chase Martin at third base bats number 2. Jack Keefe is third in the order, and he'll play at left field. And the shortstop, Camden Maselli, is your cleanup hitter, number 4, batting 4th in the order. Colin Merritt, the first baseman, is 5th in the lineup. Aiden Gonzalez will be your designated hitter. He bats 6th. Clay Robbins will get the start on the pitcher's mound, and he will also bat 7th for the number 7 pitcher. Alex Avila in right field bats 8th, and rounding out the lineup for them, Campbell Cassidy, the center fielder, will bat 9th. So that's how these two teams will square off. Now, both these teams have survived some close matchups. They've come out on the winning end of 1 and 2 run contests, so they know how to battle, and we've also seen quite a few runs to plate, so always hard to get a feel for how a game and a opponent into a pitcher's battle as it could into an offensive slugfest. So we'll hope for perhaps just some good, clean baseball, and both these teams very, very well drilled. The Vikings by Shane Slicer, and no strangers to success in the spring part of the season, but this is a very experienced Edward Little team as well, who have gotten off to a good start and are looking to keep it moving under head coach Dave Jordan, and a very deep roster for them as well. So we'll try and keep track of any and all substitutions that'll come into the ball game for the Red Eddies. Much shorter bench and varsity roster for the Oxford Hills Vikings. Mostly an upperclassman-filled lineup with a few underclassmen, including 3 freshmen on the roster, a couple of whom you'll see in the contest, with Nick Bennett leading off and Tegan Pelletier playing right field for the Vikings. Andrew Merrill right now throwing down as they're just about done with warm-ups ahead of our start, and it looks like we will be right on the money for that first pitch. As we get set to go here, we'll remind you to stay tuned throughout the ball game, and of course afterwards when we'll have our Bessie Motors player of the game, part of our Ripley and Fletcher Ford post-game show. So plenty to come once we are done with our innings worth of baseball here at Austin Field. For now, let's take a quick time out here on our when we cover baseball. Edward Little in the Oxford Hills VRG Sports.
When you're looking for your next vehicle, look no further than right here at Bessie Motor Sales. Bessie Motors has a large selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. With a sales, service, and collision center, we are Western Maine's one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Come see what all the buzz is about at Bessie Motor Sales and see all the great deals on our website at bessiemotor.com.
Biz Realty has been busy as bees to please buyers and sellers of real estate since 1984. Biz Realty is a full-service real estate agency for residential, commercial, industrial, waterfront, as well as farms, located on Main Street in historic South Paris. Their full-time associates are qualified, experienced professionals in the field with a strong connection to the community. Visit their website at bizrealty.net or call 743-9303. Go Vikings, Falcons, and Cougars from the team at Biz Realty. The high school sports winter season is finally underway. Played Against Sports at Auburn couldn't be more excited. That's because they share your passion for sports. Played Against Sports specializes in sports for all seasons. Their staff is trained to provide athletes with the best possible gear you need to play the game. Played Against Sports always makes sure you have the right equipment for your sport and it performs for you. And make sure to bring in your sports and fitness equipment you are not using because you can sell them to Played Against Sports. Played Against Sports will pay you on the spot for your quality used gear. Visit Play It Against Sports at 232 Center Street in Auburn or on Facebook at Play It Against Sports Auburn, Maine. Open 7 days a week. Play It Against Sports. They share your passion for sports.
Looking for a new home without the hassle? Twin Town Homes in Oxford, Maine is serious about earning your business. Their no-pressure sales staff will walk you through the design and building process from start to finish. With their experienced excavation contractors, they can work with you in completing your project from the ground up. Let Twin Town Homes wow you with the perfect balance of quality and affordability you should expect from a home builder in business for 65 years. Visit Twin Town Homes, Route 26, Oxford, Maine today. Home shopping, hassle-free. TwinTownHomes.com. Let's go Vikings!
Back here at Austin Field in Auburn, Maine, as we are just about set for the start of baseball here this afternoon between the Red Eddies and the Vikings. Managers have met at home plate and exchanged their starting lineups with our umpire crew. As I mentioned, two very good baseball teams coming in. Edward Little with a 5-1 record on the season. Their only blemish, close 5-4 loss to Messalonsky. Other than that, they've gotten some good wins under the belt, including knocking off their rivals, the Lewiston Blue Devils, in what was a 12-10 shootout. Meanwhile, the Oxford Hills Vikings, they've just been cruising along. Closest matchups for them really were taking care of that same Lewiston team with a 3-2 contest before battering them with a 12-0 win. They similarly got the bats moving against Messalonsky, a 13-1 outburst last week, their highest offensive output of the season. But they have had some close games. That one-run win against Lewiston back on the 1st of May, and just nipping Bangor 5-4 in one of their early matchups this season. So these two teams that will see each other month. In fact, next week will be that matchup on the 17th. So should be a good matchup between these two sides, and they look ready to go here. Vikings dressed in the uniforms with the gold numbers emblazoned on their back. Edward Little Reds will on the mat, and on either side of the diamond, Martin at Theli, the shortstop. Will Cassidy completes the battery behind the plate, and the outfield from left to right, Jack Keefe, Campbell Cassidy, and Alex Avila. Vikings set to get things going here. To lead things off, Nick Bennett, the second baseman, will be coming to the plate very shortly here. So a couple of warm-up tosses here for the big lanky pitcher Robbins. And as with anything here, it's probably going to come down to which pitcher gets on top of the lineup quicker and who's able to really grab the line by the horns and take care of things. So as the Red Eddies get set defensively, but that will lead things off. Eli Soren is on deck, and Ethan Cutler, the shortstop, in the hole. Those are the only guaranteed 3 at the top of the order to get up. But of course, some of those big bats a little bit further down the lineup, hoping to have some leadoff base runners to bat in. That's going to do it for our Biz Realty pregame show. First pitch coming down and up to the plate strides Nick Bennett. Second baseman wearing number 10, and one of those underclassmen in the lineup. Our umpire will just make sure that the plate is completely brushed free of dirt before we get things started with our first pitch. And of course, the balls and strikes being called from behind the pitcher's mound is an interesting thing to get used to. But that is the case here. Try to keep not just the players and crew as spread out as they can. First pitch set to come, and this one is underway with a called strike. And at the second baseman, right-handed hitter, takes a peek at that one coming down the pipe, but passes on it for a 1-1 count with that one just a little bit low and to the inside. Robbins winds and delivers. Fastball and a swing and a miss from Bennett with the cut. 1-2 count. Robbins working quickly from the mound here. 1-2 pitch. High fastball that Bennett's able to lay off of. Evens the count at 2-2. And chatter from both teams picking up here. Fans in attendance as well down each line as the pitch in the dirt will make it a full count for our first batter of the day. Trying to work himself as a leadoff base runner. 3-2 pitch, high, ball 4, and a free trip down the first base line. Good patience there from Bennett. That left his shoulders just the one time fastball down the meat of the plate, but other than that, very patient there. Robbins struggling to keep the fastballs down. That'll bring up Eli Soren, the third baseman, and he likes the look of that first one. Fouls it well off out of play over on the third base side, and that's in danger of putting a dent in somebody's vehicle. Soren, the left-handed hitter, digs in here with an 0-1 count. Robbins winds, fires, fastball. Good pitch there to the outside corner, and 0-2 the count now. And a good bounce back here. Robbins, after struggling to throw strikes on the last couple of pitches, fouled straight back and actually caught the light pole off to the left-hand side and came back into play. So no additional baseball needed. Soren stays alive with the foul ball. Short lead at first base for Bennett. Robbins takes a look at him before turning and delivering. Curveball is hit down the left field line, but always tailing foul, and will end up over the fence out of play. So still an 0-2 count. All 4 pitches to the number 2 hitter have been strikes, but 3 of these have been hit off to the left-hand side, and Soren just needing to get the bat around a little bit quicker. Straighten one of these out. Pitch, and this time he does able to put it in play, but that is caught in the throw. Back to first is in time for the double play as they got Bennett moving a little too quickly away from the bag. Town need a runner. Throw from 5-3 for the putout, and the liner to 5 retires Soren. Down. That'll bring Ethan Cutler, the shortstop, up, and he looks at a call for a strike. Cutler, right-handed hitter, very fast player. We can get on the base path, and he lines this one straight back at Robbins, who picks it up off the ground and flips over to first for Colin Merritt to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down, a little bit unconventional after a leadoff walk. But that will get the Vikings off and leave one runner only for them from the top half of the inning. So let's go to the bottom half of the order. Red Eddies will look like this with Patrick Antoine, the second baseman, leading off Chase Martin on deck at third base, and Jack Keefe, the left fielder, in the hole. Wyatt Knightley getting loose on the mound for the Vikings. And again, their defensive lineup looks like this. Andrew Merrill is the catcher behind the plate. Big catcher, so he's got a lot of the plate that he's able to cover if anything gets down in the dirt, but also means that he's in, maybe you could say, an unconventional crouch from behind the plate to get himself down low enough for some of those low offered pitches. Right behind those, or right in front of those two in the battery, Isaiah O'Farrell's over at first base. Nick Bennett, the second baseman. Cutler over at shortstop. Was happy to see someone bring the glove out from the dugout for him. And Eli Soren over at third. Outfield from left to right looks like this. Matt Doucette, Ty LeBlond, and Tegan Pelletier. So a scoreless ball game as we go to the bottom of the first inning here. Knightley, maybe a little bit more of your conventional, just make him try to work the outside corners. He'll throw a lot of off-speed stuff, but don't count out his fastball when he can get that moving and really challenge hitters on the inside part of the plate. That's why I said this could be an interesting matchup there, with Robbins getting some strikes worked against Soren, and Knightley will look to do the same here as we will bring up our first batter. Patrick Antoine steps to the plate and sees what the Red A's can do, and they bring the noise from their dugout right below our broadcast position. Right-handed hitting batter will step into the box here as our umpire takes his place behind the pitcher's mound. And Knightley takes a look for the sign, and our first pitch for the Vikings. Right-hand thrower, and he gets the fastball framed nice and low on the bottom portion of the plate for strike one. 0-1 pitch on the way, and again it's that same part of the plate right at the base of the strike zone, and an 0-2 count worked very quickly, and Knightley is wasting no time here. He likes the look of the side. He winds. Small kick, throws to that same part down low, and going down swinging is Patrick Antoine. Same pitch 3 straight times, and it sends him down very, very quickly. And that strikeout brought to you by Flanders Electric. First up, first out. Chase Martin, the number 2 hitter, steps to the plate, and he takes a called strike one to the outside corner. Nice pitch there. Martin, a right-handed hitter, as Knightley takes his time this time before going. Sends it down low and gets the strike again at the bottom of the zone. And so far, he has not missed from the lower portion there. Red Eddies have seen 5 pitches, seen 5 strikes. The bat has yet to leave the shoulders. And that one just a little bit low, but that time there was a twinge and a flex. But Martin able to hold up for ball 1. Knightley. 1-2 pitch coming. 1 down already, looking to make it 2, and he got him with the off speed well out in front. Martin strikes out swinging. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring Jack Keefe, the left fielder, up to the plate, looking to become the first base runner of the day for the Red Eddies. Keefe has quite a few of the Red Eddies set up are part of that boys ice hockey team that had a good successful season, and he lines one straight up the middle into center field, but caught by Ty LeBlond, who barely had to move. Hit straight to him, hit a long way, but a long out. So down in order go the Red Eddies, and that will bring the Vikings up in the top of the second, but we're still looking for our first run. Vikings and Red Eddies scoreless after 1 complete.
Napa knows every driver deserves quality parts. With 27 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts is bringing quality to local communities. Our knowledgeable customer service teams and massive inventory helps us get the parts you need when you need them. And when you sign up for Napa Rewards, you'll save more each time you shop. Stop by one of our locations today to learn more. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Napa know-how. It's understood in New England that Maine winters build character. At Ripley and Fletcher Ford, we've been building character for over 100 years. We kept you on the road when they were all made of gravel. We will continue to get you where you're going so you can enjoy the Maine winter. We are what other dealerships pretend to be. Ripley and Fletcher Ford, Oxford County's premier Ford dealer since 1909.
Back here at Austin Field in Auburn, Maine, I'm Caleb Lamb here on BRG Sports. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Bit overcast, but not the rainy skies that we were expecting might move through here and trouble us as we go to the top of the second, and the Vikings up to bat looking to get themselves on the board first. And up first in the inning is the cleanup hitter Andrew Merrill, who takes a called first strike on the pitch from Clay Robbins. Robbins working quickly, and Merrill lines that one foul down the right field line, tailing all the way, and ends up in the woods just past the grandstands on that side of the field. And an 0-2 count against the cleanup hitter. Able to lay off that one on the outside, Merrill. The catcher, and with some good power here as he's developed, looking to get himself as a first runner, but that is a nice curveball down low, and he could not help but give a half swing at it, and he does come around for strike three. Good pitch for the first strikeout of the day for Clay Robbins, and that's a Flanders Electric strikeout in the first on the board for the Red Eddies. So that'll bring up our number 5 hitter, the pitcher Wyatt Knightley, who got a piece of that one, knocking it straight back. Isaiah O'Farrell, the first baseman, is on deck. Knightley trying to be a base runner for him here. Robbins taking his time. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that one very low, just about in the dirt. Ends it up at 1-1. 1-1 pitch, off speed, and out in front of it, Knightley swing and a miss for strike number 2. Robbins starting to mix up that pitch selection a little bit, not having as much trouble keeping the ball down in the top part of the strike zone. And he comes back with a high fastball that is fouled straight back by Knightley. Only base runner of the game was the leadoff walk worked by Bennett, and that curveball well up and away. Lunging off to his right to make sure it didn't get to the backstop was Will Cassidy. 2-2 pitch. Robbins working quickly, comes back with the fastball, and it gets the bottom half of it and fouls it up and out of play. Two and two here. Robbins taking his time here, shakes off his catcher a couple of times before he sees a sign he likes and comes back with the fastball lined into center field, but that will be caught by Campbell Cassidy, who just has to flex the knee a little bit to get in front of that one. Well hit, and again hit a long way, but very similar to that ball lined out to center field back in the bottom half of the order by Edward Little's Jack Keefe. It is an easy catch when hit straight at the center fielder there, and that will bring Isaiah O'Farrell up with 2 down and trying to become the first base runner of the inning. He lays off that first pitch low and away for ball 1. Ball 2, and Robbins working fast, now slowing himself down just a little bit here, almost rushing it, trying to get through this third out. And again, he's too high on the fastball, and that's off the cuff of his catcher's glove and to the backstop. And he will step off the mound here for a moment and request a new ball from the umpire directly behind him. So 3 very quick pitches, 3 straight balls delivered, and O'Farrell very quickly to working himself a walk. He'll stay off that one, but as is usually the case when it's a 3-0 count, you get a slower fastball down the meat of the plate. 3-1. Robbins comes back again. High part of the strike zone. He'll get the called strike. O'Farrell not a fan of that particular call, but suddenly a full count. 2 out, nobody on. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss from O'Farrell, and down he goes to retire the side. Another Flanders Electric strikeout. 2 in the inning, both swinging from Clay Robbins, and he retires the Vikings in order to bring Edward Little up to bat here. So for the Red Eddies, Camden Maselli, the shortstop, due up first. Colin Merritt, the first baseman, and Aiden Gonzalez, the designated hitter, will all get their first plate appearances of the day. But so far, the pitchers not having much trouble. As a combined 9 batters recorded, albeit with the base. Need to see a double play take that player off the base. So after 2 batters faced to lead off the first inning, Wyatt Knightley is able to get the long center field to record the third one. Selly, Merritt, and Gonzalez, then Robbins, Avila, and Campbell Cassidy, the bottom of the order for the Red Eddies, who are still looking for their first base runner of the afternoon. And whatever little wind we had that was swirling around the half inning or so has gone away, and we just have a very nice, cool afternoon for baseball. Pretty much your picturesque spring day in Maine. At least as good as most people can ask for. Coaches will take their positions down the base paths, and our umpire heads back behind the pitcher's mound as up to the plate comes Camden Maselli, our shortstop and number 4 hitter, to get us started here in the bottom of the second. No score between the Vikings and Red Eddies. Knightley dealing for Oxford Hills, and he induces a ground ball foul from Maselli, who got a little bit out in front of that curveball. Knightley. 0-1 pitch, big kick, fastball coming, but that's low and away. Ball 1. Vikings playing pretty deep on the infield at first and second, but with a right field hitter there, a little bit in at the shortstop and third base positions, as this one's fouled back over top of the backstop. 1-2 pitch coming here from Knightley as he looks for the sign he likes, looking for a third strikeout of the day. Fastball, ooh, just outside, ball 2. Our position here on the first base path side of things here, so a little bit hard to gauge how close down the middle or outside it is. As another one popped up. Andrew Merrill whips the catcher's mask off his head, but sees that one tailing out over top of the backstop once again. Still 2-2. Biggest indication of how close that ball is to a corner is just keeping an eye on how the catcher moves behind the plate. 2-2 pitch. Ooh, and hit in the back is Maselli, as Knightley had that one curling away much too close to the inside corner. And the first base runner for the Red Eddies is hit by pitch. Colin Merritt, the first baseman, steps up to the plate now. 1 aboard, nobody down here in the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless game here, the first meeting of the season. 3 in total on the schedule between these two sides. KVAC rivals, and of course with local regional scheduling means perhaps a few more meetings against each other than usual. And that one gets away from Merrill on the pitch. Throw down to second is not in time. With Bennett covering the bag, and Maselli says, "Thank you very much, I will take second base." Wild pitch from Knightley, but now not a runner to keep an eye on at first, so ball 1 on the first offering to Merritt. Let's see if he settles in here a little bit without having to keep as much of an eye on the leadoff man. Big cut, big miss from Colin Merritt on that fastball down low as he was reaching for it. That'll leave him the count at 1 apiece. Aiden Gonzalez, the designated hitter, on deck. Runner on second, 1-1 count. Nobody out here. Knightley takes a look over his shoulder before turning to the plate. The sacrifice bunt is laid down. Man goes to third, and Merrill throws it away. And that's going to bring a man across the plate. Into second goes Colin Merritt, and Edward Little first across the plate. Well, it was Bennett who had to run over to cover second. Andrew Merrill gave him plenty of time to get there, but the second baseman not as used to having to have those throws coming straight away down the base pass. There is a quick discussion, I think, here with our first base umpire about whether there was any interference, I think, but I can't imagine there would be anything that would prevent the man rounding third from coming home. Oh, goodness. So that was the ruling, was that sacrifice bunt that only went about a foot in front of the plate, they are going to say that it came off the toe of the batter, Colin Merritt, and so that means he is out. Just like if a runner on the base paths is hit by a batted ball would lead to him being out, similarly the batter cannot be hit by his own batted ball, or he is counted as out. The discussion right now from the third base coach is that if he was still in the box and it had come down off his toe and he had not yet started down the base path, it should have just been a foul ball rather than an out. But I don't think Edward Little will have much of a complaint to take the run in this scenario, even if it means one out on the board and negates the runner at second. So after that brief discussion, we got at least a very clear explanation to clear things up there. So that was the first base umpire making that call with his view of the play. Oh, and interesting here. So they are motioning Camden Maselli back out of the dugout. My apologies. They've taken that run off the board and are moving him back to second. I was going to say that the Vikings would have preferred to see that out call made very quickly so they knew not to bother going to first base. So that would obviously lead to Edward Little being a little bit more upset with that one, as Aiden Gonzalez, the left-handed designated hitter and number 6 hitter in the order, comes to the plate. So 1 out, Colin Merritt retired after his sacrifice bunt attempt goes off his right foot. And 2 strikes recorded now on Gonzalez after he swings and is way out in front of that curveball. 0-2 with 1 down and a man on second. Much, much different than a man on second and 1 run across the plate. So a scoreless bottom of the second here still. Pitch from Knightley is high and outside, ball 1. So Camden Maselli, who reached base after being hit by a pitch and scampered to second on a wild pitch, and sees a batted ball go off his own man to retire him. And now Gonzalez goes down a strikeout swinging, as again out in front of that one. And that is a 3rd strikeout of the afternoon recorded by Wyatt Knightley and presented by Flanders Electric. 2 down and a runner on second, and the Vikings very close to getting out of this jam, and that's going to bring Clay Robbins, the opposite pitcher, to the plate for the first time. Check swing, did not matter because that pitch was to the top outside corner of the strike zone for strike 1. Pitch to the outside corner, 1-1 here. Maselli off of second. He's got really no one standing anywhere close to him with 2 down, so he can take as big of a leadoff as he wants and goes about 5 steps away from the bag. Knightley gives 1 little glance over his shoulder, turns to the plate, and this is fouled out over the left-hand side. And again into the parking lot, and again a nice little dent in the trunk of somebody's SUV in the parking lot. 1-2 count. 2 down Man on second, scoreless game here. Vikings trying to get out of this one. Strike three looking on Robbins, and he does it there, back-to-back Ks to leave the man stranded in scoring position, and the Vikings, who thought they were down 1-0, suddenly will go to the third, still in a scoreless game, and the Red Eddies coaching staff is still going to have some more to talk about this one as the sides change over. But we'll take the opportunity to take a timeout. Vikings coming up in the top of the third, still scoreless against the Red Eddies here on BRG Sports.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Get the real deal from State Farm agent Joshua Lynn in Turner, Maine.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The best way I could describe working with Hammond Lumber, our relationship, is like working with a group of friends.
Their service is excellent in the store. You walk in, there's always somebody there waiting to help you.
Delivery, on-site help, whatever is needed, they're there for us.
Aggressive on the pricing. They have all the materials and products we need.
Their sales service is exceptional.
They deliver everything when we expect it to be delivered.
It always comes back to service, with Hammond Lumber being the most important thing.
When it comes to banking, you deserve to have it all. With Dirigo, you can get that thing you really want, with great rate credit cards and loans. You can have it all with Dirigo.
Back here at Austin Field at the base of Mount Appetite here in Auburn, Maine. Quite a few fields here and more on the way, part of the renovations to the Auburn suburban baseball and softball setups here in the town. And a first pitch foul down the third base line for Hunter Tardif, our designated hitter and number 7 hitter for the Vikings. As we've got a scoreless game on our hands here between Oxford Hills and Edward Little as we go to the top of the third. Pitch to the outside, 1-1 count. Clay Robbins wheeling and dealing. He got his first 2 strikeouts of the day back in the second inning. Now moving through the bottom of the order. Pitch outside and in the dirt. Make it a 2-1 count. So far, Robbins has looked comfortable when he's taken his time, thrown his fastball, given himself an extra second or so. And this one is hit straight back up the middle, gloved by Maselli, and the throw on in time to Merritt for the 6-3 putout on the leadoff hitter, Hunter Tardif. I was just going to say that for Robbins on the mound, we've seen him maybe struggle a little bit when he's tried to move too quickly, get the ball back, take about 5 to 6 seconds, and then get himself right back into his next delivery, and that has seen him be a little bit high in the strike zone. We've seen multiple periods of 4 straight balls thrown from him. So far, besides the leadoff walk, he has gotten through everybody. This one hit sharply down the first base line, and it sneaks past the dive of Merritt into right field. Turning and digging is Ty LeBlanc, the center fielder. Gets himself to second on a double hit pretty much right down the chalk and right over the first base bag. In fact, there's now quite a bit of that chalk on the back of Colin Merritt's uniform as he did everything he could to keep that one in front of him. But the right-handed hitter goes opposite field, and nicely done by the speedy LeBlanc to hustle himself around. So a double for him smacked directly down the line, and that brings up Matthew Doucette, our left fielder, and 9th hitter in the lineup, Nick Bedette, will now wait on deck. With 1 away and a man in scoring position for the first time today for the Vikings. 1-0 pitch on the way, low and in the dirt, just kept in front by Will Cassidy to prevent LeBlanc from getting any ideas about taking third. Robbins paying quite a bit of attention to him here. 2-0 pitch on the way. 1 down, Vikings looking to plate the first man that will count of the day, and foul to the backstop, just slicing off the top of the barrel of the bat from Doucette. And timeout taken here, and Cassidy wants to chat with his pitcher for just a split second or so. He's going to take him back to the mound to chat. I wonder if he has noticed some of the same things, that Robbins maybe working a little bit too quickly, not taking that extra second or so just to get himself relaxed, set. It's been a little bit stiff here with the threat of LeBlanc behind him, but you could really say that about any pitcher when you've got a man on the base pass to worry about and distract from you, and you're thrown out of the stretch instead of the full windup. Comes to the plate with a fastball and a good talk from Cassidy behind the plate, because that settles his pitcher right down, 2-2, after getting due set well behind that fastball. 1 out. Blonde is the man on second. Robbins takes a look at him, comes to the plate with the 2-2 pitch, fouled away once again. Well, Doucette's been a little bit under these pitches. He's had a couple of them come off the top part of the bat. Smaller stature hitter, so he digs in. Robbins, still 2-2. He checks the runner and now comes to the plate. Swing and a miss. He got him. So 2 down, and that will go back to the top of the order. Nick Manette, the second baseman, who reached on a walk, but then was part of the double play on the base pass, will get his second plate appearance. And with 2 down, trying to put something through a gap that will give LeBlanc a chance to come home. First pitch in there for strike 1. Robbins, just like Knightley before him, in the bottom of the second, trying to get out of the inning with a man in scoring position and looking for the hit and run. LeBlanc was moving with motion on the base pass, but it is fouled by Bennett. And they got to be careful there with LeBlanc, because if they give him that big of a lead, Robbins not exactly thrown out of the stretch here on the mound. He could take third base. Robbins looks to him, and he is going again on the 0-2 pitch. It is outside, and LeBlanc is in there to third with a stolen base, and that was the danger he offered on the base pass. Pitch was outside, so no chance for the hit and run, but it did not matter because he got such a huge jump. It does not help with a right-handed hitter in there and a right-handed throwing catcher. Cassidy having to jump sideways a little bit to get room to throw that one down the line. The man on third, but a 1-2 pitch comes to the plate. Oh, Robbins thought it was strike 3. He was already headed off to the side, but a little too inside for our umpire's liking. 2-2. Runner on third, 2 down, 2-2 pitch. Vikings looking for the first run of the day, but not going to happen here. Struck him out with the high fastball, but that goes down, and the Red Eddies escape with the man very close to coming across. Well, this is turning into the second of the 2 scenarios we talked about in our Biz Realty pregame show, where both these teams have shown what they can do this season offensively, but it has been the defense and the pitching that has come through so far for both of these very talented sides, and Knightley will come back to the mound, looking to take care of business here once again. Both pitchers having a pretty good game overall. 2 strikeouts in the last 2 innings for Robbins, and also 2 in the last 2 innings as well for Knightley, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, because he had the back-to-back strikeouts to lead things off with Anthoine and Martin. So now he's going to see Alex Avila, the right fielder, Campbell Cassidy, the center fielder and number 9 hitter, and then back to the top of the order we'll go. Red Eddies, let's see what they've got, and if they're still feeling a little bit hard done by after plating a man in the second, only to have it taken off the board because of that call that Colin Merritt's sacrifice bunt attempt had actually hit him as he had left the box on his right foot toe. And because the throw down the first base line to try and get him that ended up being overthrown over the head of the covering Nick Bennett did not count, Error taken off the board, and Maselli having to be sent back to second base because it would not have been a necessary throw. Time is taken here before we get our first pitch of the inning as Avila's stepping in and didn't like how long Knightley was taking. So now we get set. First pitch of the third. This one is hit down the third base side. Quick throw over to first, a little low, but O'Farrell able to range and snag that one from Soren. And the 5-3 put out on the first pitch at the bottom of the third. So Avila goes down. That'll bring the center fielder and number 9 hitter Cassidy to the plate. Right-handed hitter. He settles in quickly. Knightley working quickly. Comes right down the middle with the fastball, but it is a little bit low, and that is ball 1. And Thoyne on deck. Martin in the hole if he gets the opportunity. Foul ball straight back off the backstop. But again, quick move from Andrew Merrill to whip off the face mask and get himself around. I can only hope that he moves that quickly with his head once we get to the fall season, and I've got him back on the soccer field up front as a striker for me. Pitch from Knightley on the way. Nice one to the inside part of the plate. Strike number 2. And with one away, looking to get his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. Nobody on the base paths. One down, 1-2 pitch, and that one is just popped down the first base line foul. Just stuck the bat out and tried to bloop it maybe into shallow right field, but off the side of the bat, but just enough to stay alive. And he's going to hit this one to the second baseman. Bennett fields it clean. Quick throw across to O'Farrell, and that is a 4-3 putout. 2 up, 2 down, but to the top of the order we go now. Patrick Thoyne, who struck out looking on 3 straight pitches to start things off. It was part of that great start to the game for Wyatt Knightley, who struck out the first 2 batters on 7 pitches. And he goes low again around the knees of the second baseman. He threw 3 straight pitches right on the bottom of the strike zone. The bat never moved from Patrick Thoyne, and you have to expect he's going to want to move it this time. And he swings at that one, gets a piece of it as he was trying to golf it over the fence. One of those power swings that if it connects, it will go a long, long ways, but not quite the connection he wanted. Down 0-2 with 2 out and nobody on. The Vikings looking to quickly get through the lineup here. Knightley taking his time. Winds, fires low, but too low and outside. Ball 1. Chase Martin, the third baseman, on deck. Jack Keefe, the left fielder, behind him. Keefe was the one who lined that one into center field, only for it to be right at Ty LeBlanc. And this one is hit into the gap between left and center. LeBlanc over to make the catch on the run, and he will snag it there for the 3rd out. Came a long, long way. That was it, perfectly positioned between the 2. That is why LeBlanc is out there as he eats up the ground. And we go to the 4th. Still scoreless. Vikings coming up to bat, looking to break this one open. Vikings and Edward Little here on BRG Sports.
When it comes to banking, you deserve to have it all. With Dirigo, you can get that thing you really want with great rate credit cards and loans. You can have it all with Dirigo.
The high school sports winter season is finally underway. Played Against Sports at Auburn couldn't be more excited. That's because they share your passion for sports. Played Against Sports specializes in sports for all seasons. Their staff is trained to provide athletes with the best possible gear you need to play the game. Played Against Sports always makes sure you have the right equipment for your sport and it performs for you. And make sure to bring in your sports and fitness equipment you are not using because you can sell them to Played Against Sports. Played Against Sports will pay you on the spot for your quality used gear. Visit Play It Against Sports at 232 Center Street in Auburn or on Facebook at Play It Against Sports Auburn, Maine. Open 7 days a week. Play It Against Sports. They share your passion for sports.
Halfway home here as we go to the top of the fourth. Vikings looking to break up a scoreless contest here in what has been a good performance defensively, especially on the pitcher's mound for both Clay Robbins and Wyatt Knightley. And Robbins will now go against the meat of the Vikings order. Eli Soren, the third baseman, number 2 hitter up. Ethan Cutler on deck, and Andrew Merrill, the cleanup hitter, in the hole. And this one will start with a high fly ball drifting foul all the way, but not quite going to be snagged. Good effort coming over from Jack Keefe, but that was going to be a tough one to try and catch up to, especially as it ranged very close to the fence and ended up flying into a pile of dirt just in front of the fence, unable to bring it down for a first out. So in the left-hand hitter, he has fouled off his share of pitches today. That's his 4th foul ball. All of them hit down the third base line. So 0-1 against him. Lined out to third, which ended up being a quick double play after Nick Bennett earned a leadoff walk. And Robbins here has to take time as he steps back away. Is trying to find the best pitch for the scenario. 0-1 delivery. Curveball. This one's hit right at the first baseman. They'll throw to Robbins, who's going to have to get there. Oh, it was closer than it needed to be, but he gets there by half a step with Soren charging him down. Merritt made the decision about maybe 3 yards or so off the bag to flip to his pitcher, who was further away from the bag than he was, but was on the move. We'll never know if he would have gotten there in time, but certainly made it interesting. So the unconventional 3-1 put out here. That will bring Ethan Cutler, the shortstop, to the plate. Takes the ball 1. Cutler, who grounded out to the pitcher in his first time up, and he lays off that one inside, but it didn't matter as it was inside the strike zone, 1-1. Robbins comes with the curveball, and Cutler too far out in front of it. He knew it too as he was swinging off his heels. Strike number 2, 1-2 count with nobody on. Wind starting to pick up just a little bit here as this one's grounded to second, and Thorne gets to it, quickly flips across to Merritt. 2 up, 2 down. Well, more like it here. We haven't seen a lot of ground balls induced by either pitcher. Haven't really needed it as they've struck out quite a few or gotten them to record some outs in different ways, but a couple of fly balls that maybe the wind had an impact on by keeping them up in the air just a little bit longer. Getting your defense adjusted can be helpful, and not going to be a chance for a defensive play on this one. It is a first pitch hit on the left ankle of Andrew Merrill, the catcher and cleanup hitter. So, quick apology there from Robbins. Robbins' pitch was, you could tell he didn't feel that he had gotten any kind of trajectory on that he wanted, almost like it slipped out of his hand, and he has a little chat with the umpire about it. I think he was saying perhaps that Merrill could have made an attempt to skip his way out of the way of that one, but it was a difficult one to gauge as it sunk pretty much right directly at his ankle and hit it without skipping off the ground first. Strike 1 in against Wyatt Knightley, the pitcher, who's got a man on, and he sees that man on first go back to the bag with our first throw over. Merrill takes about 3 strides off the bag, and Robbins stares him down before turning to the plate. And again, inside he comes with this one. Trying to work the inside part of the plate, but not having the success he's looking for just yet as Merrill takes another couple of strides away. And that one does hit the inside corner for strike 2. Two out, and a 2-strike pitch that almost sails over the head of Will Cassidy. He had to get out of the crouch quickly there to eat that one up. on first, trying to make things interesting. It's Knightley trying to work a few more pitchers out of his opposing number. And the curveball sinks too low and to inside. Full count coming. Merrill short lead at first. 3-2 pitch coming and 2 outside. A ball for walk. Good. Nice job on the plate appearance by Knightley. Very patient. Didn't offer at any of the inside pitches or anything on the outside corners. Was just looking for his pitch, and that is the second walk earned by a Viking today, and the first since Nick Manette led off the game several innings ago. So with 2 on and 2 out here, runners on first and second, that brings O'Farrell, the first baseman, to the plate. First time up, he struck out swinging on a full count pitch, and he takes a first pitch ball. Movement on the base paths here. Robbins pays no mind as he comes to the plate with a fastball, and again O'Farrell could not catch up to it. Evens the count at 1-1. Vikings with a man in scoring position for the second time today, but again it's come in both instances with 2 outs. Robbins to the plate. Oh, Farrell almost thought he had it, but he was just underneath it, and the quick throw down the first base line does not catch Knightley in time as he was back to the bag. 1-2. Farrell looking to avoid going down on strikes to end an inning for the second straight at bat. 1-2 pitch, high and up out of the zone. Well, the Vikings looking for their second hit of the day, and their first one just squeezed through down the first base line. A hit here you'd think would plate a man, but O'Farrell cannot catch up to the fastball. Struck out for the second time by the fastball of Clay Robbins. It's another Flanders Electric K to add to his total. He's now got 5 on the day. So we now head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still scoreless between the Vikings and Red Eddies. And for Edward Little now, we will see their number 2, 3, and 4 hitters, just like we just did for the Vikings. Chase Martin will lead things off. Jack Keefe, the left fielder, on deck, and Camden Maselli, the shortstop, will get a plate appearance here. Martin, who struck out swinging on the back-to-back strikeouts to start off the game for Knightley, as he goes back to the mound for a couple of warm-up pitches here. And as I said, it's really been one of those pitchers' battles where neither team has seemingly hit the ball very well. We've seen a few more grounders induced by the Red Eddies, which would indicate that Vikings are starting to maybe, just maybe, figure out the timing on those pitches from Robbins and get the bats around on them. But there's also been a couple of well-hit balls into center field from Edward Little that just have not fallen, thanks in part to the speedy legs of Ty LeBlanc to track him down, including retiring Patrick Anthorn with that long hit fly ball that looked like it was pretty much split perfectly down the middle between Doucette and LeBlanc. Maybe the wind had a little bit to do with that one being caught up in the breeze and not falling quickly to earth enough to bounce to the wall for what would have been an easy double for him. So Martin steps up. Third baseman hasn't put a foot wrong defensively, but hasn't had a lot to do. As our umpire brushes off the plate, right-handed hitter will step to the box. If you're just joining us here this afternoon, thanks for tuning in on BRG Sports. I'm Caleb Lamb. Haven't missed much. It's been a good pitching matchup so far as Knightley winds and comes to the plate for the first time. Foul ball just off to the right from Martin. Red Eddies did get one across the plate in the only drama-filled portion of the day. That was back in the 2nd inning when Camden Maselli scored on an error when Manette could not field the throw down the first base line covering on the sacrifice bunt. But first base umpire, quick discussion with our home plate umpire, who's really our behind the pitcher's mound umpire, and ruled that The sacrifice bunt had come off the foot of Colin Merritt as he left the batter's box and started to run, which meant he was out on the base paths. This one's hit foul, and this one might just turn and come fair as it found the little patch of earth on either side of the base paths, but quickly out to field it in foul territory was Soren to make sure that Martin did not get any ideas. 1-2 count against him now. Knightley pauses for a moment. Now he'll come with the fastball. Struck him out. Leaves him looking at him. That's the second strikeout of the afternoon for Martin, and it's another one to add to the Flanders Electric strikeout total for Wyatt Knightley, who has recorded a strikeout in every inning so far. Or excuse me, no, this being the fourth inning here, not the third inning, as he had gotten retired with 2 ground outs and a flyout last time up. It is his 5th strikeout of the day so far in total. Nobody on, 1 out, and up comes Jack Keefe, who put the scare in his first attempt, blasting one to center field that was hit on a rope directly at LeBlond, who had to take 1 step to get his glove perfectly positioned in front of it. He takes the first pitch ball. Maselli due up, the shortstop behind him. Knightley. Curveball is outside and low, 2-0. Gotta love over-exuberant baseball cheers. One of the best part of high school baseball is listening into the dugouts. This one is chopped. On the run comes Cutler at short. The throw across in time to a Faro 6-3 ground out. Nice job charging that one down as Keefe has some speed and did not want to wait for that chopper to come to him. Hard to read as that one hit the ground and popped high over the catcher's mound. Cutler played it perfectly on the run. So with 2 outs, Camden Maselli, the shortstop, who reached on a hit by a pitch as he was hit square in the back. His first attempt, and he sees this one skip in the dirt well to the outside on the first pitch offering from Knightley, 1-0. Colin Merritt, the first baseman, would be up next if Maselli can reach safely. 2 out, nobody on. Scoreless game here between Edward Little and Oxford Hills. First of 3 meetings on the season between these teams who have each recorded 5 wins already this season. Vikings unblemished. Edward Little with 1 defeat. And that one chopped off the barrel of the bat foul as trying to hold up on the swing was Maselli. Could not do so. 2-1 count. 2 out. Knightley gets the sign he likes, winds and comes to the plate with a fastball inside, and that caught the jersey right across the chest. Second. So down to first base he goes. Well, Maselli has reached once again. That'll bring up Colin Merritt, the first baseman, who'll look to redeem himself here. No sack bunt attempt here with 2 outs and 1 on. He'll be looking to swing away and won't have to have the bat come off his shoulders. This is a wild pitch from Knightley. Will very similar to the second inning. See Maselli reach on a hit by pitch and then go to second immediately thereafter on a wild pitch. Deja vu. So the runner into scoring position. 1-0 count against Merritt. 2 outs. And a scoreless game here in the 4th inning. And suddenly the pressure goes up a notch on Knightley, who comes to the plate with a nice pitch. Strike 1. Three or 4 step lead off the bag at second for Maselli. He looks at him, comes to the plate, but a little bit too low. 2-1. Knightley taking his time here as the noise rises a couple octaves in the Red Eddies dugout, and a foul ball from Merrill as he hits that one right to the Oxford Hills dugout. 2-2 with 2 outs. Well, Knightley's been trying to use the curveball a little bit more here as it's gone along. But looking for a second strikeout of the inning to get him out. With a small jam here, runner is moving, and this one is hit to left field. Doucette ranging after it. He gets underneath it and makes the catch. Very close to the wall there. So nicely done. Fly out to left field, but again, the danger was there. Hit a long way by Colin Merritt, but it ends the inning, and we are still scoreless. So we'll go to the 5th after this short break. Oxford Hills and Edward Little. It's coming down to the wire. Someone's got to put someone across the plate eventually. We're scoreless here in Auburn here on BRG Sports.
Looking for a new home without the hassle? Twin Town Homes in Oxford, Maine is serious about earning your business. Their no-pressure sales staff will walk you through the design and building process from start to finish. With their experienced excavation contractors, they can work with you in completing your project from the ground up. Let Twin Town Homes wow you with the perfect balance of quality and affordability you should expect from a home builder in business for 65 years. Visit Twin Town Homes, Route 26, Oxford, Maine today. Home shopping, hassle-free. TwinTownHomes.com. Let's go Vikings!
If you're a young adult, 17 years or older, and looking for a career opportunity in healthcare, then consider joining the amazing team at Market Square Health Center in South Paris. The Market Square CNA program has immediate openings for young men and women where you can earn and learn to become a certified nursing assistant, and no experience is necessary. Take the first step and call Marcy Winslow, Director of Nursing, at 743-7086, or visit us at marketsquarehealth.com. That's marketsquarehealth.com.
Caleb Lamb here with you on BRG Sports as we go to the 5th, and the Vikings and Edward Little Red Eddies. Good scoreless battle here, and the pitchers have done the meat of the work with some assists from their defensive lineup behind them, as is usually the case, but only one combined hit between the two teams, and the Vikings, who have that one hit, looking to get the first run across the plate here. Hunter Tardif, number 7 hitter, and the designated hitter is up to the plate. Ground out to the shortstop in his first appearance. And Robbins again working quickly here, has himself a 1-1 count against the DH. Ty LeBlanc, the center fielder, the number 8 hitter, and Matthew Doucette, the left fielder, and number 9 hitter, who just caught that long fly ball to end the inning, will be the second and third batters up before we get to the top of the order. Quick check was down the first base line to see if Tardif came around on the check swing. He did not. 2-1 pitch coming. This one's chopped at Merritt, the first baseman. Robbins again trying to cover, and again it's close at the plate. And the view was obstructed by the first base umpire. He did not make a call, and he's going to check with his plate umpire here. And they call him out. Typically the case is that the tie goes to the runner, and that looked to be the case. Tardif comes across with arms spread wide. Not sure if that's a Superman move on the flight back to the dugout or if he thought that he might be safe. But that one was a tough one. The umpire at first base had to move inward away from the bag because Merritt had come into the field of play to pick that ball up. And he was obscured by 3 players in the vicinity. The second baseman was also coming across in the vicinity to be there to cover. First pitch, strike. Second pitch, too low. Ball and 1 here against LeBlanc. The second 3-1 putout we've seen in the game. Tardif, who went down, happened to soar in earlier. And again, both of those a little bit closer than maybe they should have been, with Robbins not quite getting over to cover the bag as quickly as his coaching staff might like. This one fouled straight back on the 1-2 pitch by LeBlanc. LeBlanc has the only hit of the game as he hit a worm burner right down the first base line. Just past the valiant dive of Merritt, who added a few more white stripes to the back of his maroon and white striped jersey. With a 2-2 pitch coming here, it is low, make it a full count. LeBlanc, patient as always, working it. And looking to reach base safely for the second time here. 1 out, nobody on. Full count in a scoreless game here in the 5th. And the pitch is too high. Walk. LeBlanc down to first, and that will bring Doucette to the plate. He struck out swinging in his first time up back in the 3rd. So with a base runner on and a base runner who can move, we saw a stolen base from LeBlanc in his first time getting on base, and not the one you thought, as he went from 2nd to 3rd because he hit a double cleanly off the bat after grounding one into 3rd, and the good move to first gets him moving, but the throw is away from the covering shortstop. Maselli got himself over to the bag in time, but the throw was not a good one from Merritt. As a great pickoff move from Robbins. LeBlanc saw that he was dead to right, so he just took off a moving, and it proves to be the smart decision. He gets into second base with another stolen bag. Pickoff move came, and I think he saw that he was too far out, so give credit. He might have been planning on going anyways, but he just turned and dug his heels in, but he was not going to make it in time had that throw been on time. And now the throw back to second, just in time, back to the bag. Oh my, LeBlanc has to be careful there. Robbins looking right at him, and he just did not start back to the bag anytime soon. Might have still been getting his bearings and stuff set, as showing for the sack bunt at the plate is Doucette. 1-0 count against him. Runner on second in scoring position with nobody out, and now Doucette will take 2-0. Well, the uniform certainly much dirtier for LeBlanc after a couple head first slides. Robbins paying attention to him. He knows he's already taken 3rd on him once, and he comes to the plate with a nice fastball swing and a miss from Doucette for strike 1. Might be the Vikings' best opportunity here. 1 out, runner in scoring position, scoreless ball game, but they do still need someone to come up with a second hit for him. Strike 2 called against Doucette. 2-2 count against him. It will go back to the top of the order here with Bennett and Soren. Discounting any kind of double play shenanigans that might come into play here. 2-2 pitch on the way. This one is lined into right field. It will drop. That's a base hit. LeBlanc comes around 3rd, but that is a good throw down to home to keep him there. And suddenly, runners at the corners. Nice job going opposite field from Matthew Doucette. Didn't get a lot on it, but he got enough on it to clear the infield. And the Vikings, who needed that second hit to come from somewhere, and they get it from the very bottom of the order. And just like that, to the top of the order we go. Nick Bennett comes to the plate, struck out swinging his last time up, reached on a walk first time. And there was just a discussion there as the pitcher, umpire behind him says was going to his mouth, was the call there. That something you can't lick your fingers. So there is now a discussion as the home plate umpire, who is behind the mound, is going to come over and discuss that with coaching staff. Not sure what the protocol is here, if the hands have to be sanitized or anything like that, or if it is just a warning. They do have to remove that ball from the game, and as he correctly points out, he needs a new one. Robbins will try and shake off that distraction there, as he says to his coach, I never actually touched my mouth, just moving his fingers in the vicinity. That can be tough of it for a pitcher, especially part of that routine what keeps you comfortable. But now with one out and runners on the corners, he's going to have to get focused very quickly here to avoid the first run coming across the plate. And fouled straight back out of play by Bennett. And you can hear some squeals of people either moving out of the way or worried about their vehicles coming from behind us. 0-1 count. And again, a few more balls sent out to the pitching mound. They'll flip another one of those to the umpire behind him. LeBlanc stands on third. Matthew Doucette is at first base. One away, and the top of the lineup up for the Vikings here in a scoreless ball game in the top of the fifth. Pitch in there for strike on the top part of the strike zone, so Bennett in a hole 0-2. Trying to avoid the strikeout on a second straight appearance for him. And that one just outside, 1-2. Robbins checking his signs, but also checking both of the runners here, and the runner is going on first. They will, of course, fake the throw there to try and get the move, but defensive indifference, and surprised we did not see that a little bit earlier for Doucette. So that takes away the double play ball, and Doucette stands on second now. Runners on second and third, one away. And a 2-2 count. Bennett reaches out in front and fouls off that off-speed pitch. Looked like a curveball that was dropping in low, and he was out in front of it, but just strained to get a piece of it and foul it off to the left. Still 2-2. Pitch coming low in the dirt. Oh, nice job by Will Cassidy. Got the legs down together. Best impersonation of an ice hockey goalie. Oh, and it appears that I had my count wrong. They're going to send Bennett down to first base. So my apologies. That must have been a 3-2 count against him there. And so bases are loaded up here with Eli Soren, the third baseman, coming to the plate. Ground out to the pitcher last time out. Lined out to third base back in the first inning, but he's got a chance to do some damage here, and he hits it up to the second or shortstop Maselli, trying to turn two, not going to be in time. Soren beats it out. One run scores. Second run across the plate. Soren hustling into second after a bad throw that bounced away, and he will get there. Vikings take the opportunity to get everybody else around, and hey, they get the second out on the base pass, but 2-run score, and the Vikings have broken it open for a 2-0 lead. Nice job by Soren. That ball was hit deep. Nice job playing deep on the fringes of the infield to get in front of it. Got the leadoff runner Bennett at second base, but Soren on his horse, and the throw with Merritt stretching as far as he could off the bag was a little bit too short in front of him, and it one-hopped underneath his glove and to the fence. And in the struggle to figure out where that was, because Merritt had lost his balance and fallen on the attempt to reach out and snag it, Soren ends up at second. So 2 RBIs for him, and at the plate, Ethan Cutler swings and misses at that one, strike 2. He had a first pitch strike, and he was looking behind him to see if that one had gone to the backstop, and Soren could go sprinting on to third. 2 outs here. And outs are just too high in the strike zone on the delivery here. So Cutler trying to battle himself back. He's got a 1-2 count. And that one just knocked in front of him. Quick throw down the first base line as he got contact, and that will retire the side. But not before the Vikings get themselves 2 across the plate. Eli Soren, a fielder's choice, but a 2 RBI one. And he advanced to second on the error as well. So we go to the bottom of the fifth, and the Vikings have finally taken the goose egg off their side of the scoreboard with both LeBlanc and Doucette scoring on the play. And very good play from both of them. LeBlond reaching on a walk, stolen base, and then reaching on the single from Matthew Doucette, only the second hit of the ball game, following LeBlond's effort into right field via a ground ball right down the first base line back in the third inning. And now Edward Little will try and get the offensive plays going their way. They still need their first hit of the ball game. And time starting to run out for them to do it in. Also keep an eye on if we've got any substitutions that will be checking into the game at some point here. And obviously won't know how things will officially be scored here, if it will count as two RBIs for Soren, or if one of those will count on the throwing error. Really, as the throw was coming around, Doucette had already started to turn the corner, but obviously the throw bouncing away gave him enough time to reach home plate. You would expect that it'll count as one earned run against Clay Robbins. But now the Red Eddies getting themselves set to go offensively. Aiden Gonzalez, the designated hitter, and a left-handed hitter, will step in. Struck out swinging in his only appearance at the plate back in the second inning. He takes a call, first strike. Knightley now pinching with some confidence, and that one to the outside, just off the glove of Andrew Merrill, but a strike two swinging on Gonzalez nonetheless. 0-2 against him. Knightley kicks, fires, low outside, ball one. Gonzalez, who struggled catching up to the fastball of Knightley back in that second inning, was the third strikeout victim of the day for the Vikings starting pitcher. Trying to battle back in here, and he lays off the high stuff. 2-2 the count now. A little bit more patience in the box this time. Clay Robbins, the pitcher, is the man on deck. In the hole is Alex Avila, the right fielder, who grounded out to third base in his only time up. And this one is hit right to Nick Bennett at second base. Bobbled it for a moment, but plenty of time to pick up and throw to Isaiah O'Farrell for the 4-3 putout. So Gonzalez retired. That will bring Clay Robbins, pitcher, up to face his opposite number. Struck out looking. And that ended the second inning back in that controversial inning where a run was wiped off the board, and after Camden Maselli had come around to score and was sent back to second base, Edward Little never got it back, and now find themselves down 2-0. Swing and a miss on the first pitch offering from Robbins. Knightley got him fooled and all tied up with the curve ball. He comes back with the fastball this time and gets the strike low and away. 0-2 quickly. Field the right fielder and number 8 hitter next up. Campbell Cassidy, if it gets to him, the center fielder would be the 9th hitter in the order. Knightley taking his time here. 0-2 pitch on the way. This one is hit into center field, and it will drop in front of LeBlond, and there is finally the first base hit of the day. Clay Robbins breaks it up for his opposite number. And finally, a ball hit into center field that even the speedy legs of Ty LeBlond were not going to be able to track down. So he held up and let that one drop on the bounce to avoid anything that would have turned into extra bases. Smart play there with playing with a 2-0 lead. So Avila to the plate, and he fouls this one straight back. Or no, excuse me, we do have a substitution into the game here. This would be Drew Smith in as the pinch hitter. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner here into the game for Robbins as well. That's the brief stoppage in play. Foul ball was hit by Smith, so it is an 0-1 count against him. And into pinch run is Eli St. Laurent, the freshman. He will take Robbins' place at first. Smith, the big left-hand hitter, steps in here, so trying to work the matchup a little bit. You can understand why. Needing to manufacture some runs, you'll take any advantage you can get, so why not try and match up if you've got a couple of left-hand hitters on your bench. 1 out, 1 aboard. 0-1 count with a 2-0 lead for the Vikings, and the throw is back to first, just to keep the first year on his toes. Did not have a huge lead nonetheless, but he's sent back head first to the first base bag. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled straight back to the backstop. 0-2 now against Smith. Some from the fans here on the inside about hand-to-mouth behavior after the quick discussion in the previous inning with Robbins having a ball tossed away. Knightley comes to the plate. This one is hit right back up the middle and through the gap between the two into center field. LeBlanc, though, quickly in to prevent anyone from advancing more than one base. But it does put a runner into scoring position, and the pinch hitter, Drew Smith, comes through back-to-back singles here. So the first hit of the day quickly leads to another. And a nice hit ball right up the gap, and that is going to bring a conference on the mound. Shane Slicer will talk things over. Maybe expecting that might be some tiring out of his starting pitcher. Vikings have a couple of others that they might go to here in this scenario. We've seen Soren on the mound, we've seen Colby Brown pitch, but they're going to leave Knightley in. And why not after he's had himself a very, very good start to this game. Through 5 1/3 with 5 Ks, and the only 2 hits he's allowed all contest have been the last 2 batters. Sacrifice bunt is laid down. He will throw on to third. Gets the lead runner. Smart play by Knightley. Quickly off the mound, charging ahead. And that sac bunt did not go where they wanted it to go off the bat. So give themselves from Campbell Cassidy on base, but they will trade no advanced positions for the additional out. Nice job there to get the pinch runner, Eli St. Laurent, who was running for Robbins, off the base pass. Still first and second with 2 down, and this one low, skipped away from Merrill. Bounced awkwardly high into the air with a ton of spin on that one, as it might have hit a divot right there in the dirt. Merrill did his best just to keep it in front of him, although it did glance off to the side, and because it was so high in the air, easy enough for the runners to advance. So the wild pitch again puts runners into scoring position. Swing and a miss on the swing from Patrick Anthoine, and after he struck out looking and flew out to center field, would like to make amends with runners in scoring position here. 1-1 count against him. Lead-off hitter and second baseman. Runners on second and third, down by 2. Now would be the time to tie it up, but can't catch up to that fastball. 1-2 now. Plenty of encouragement coming for Patrick as he steps back into the batter's box. 1-2 pitch on the way, fouled straight to the backstop. He almost got around on that one. Was not far off from putting that one high into the outfield. And time called here by Andrew Merrill. Catcher comes out, and in fact, something being pointed out by his shortstop, Ethan Cutler. Not sure if he's noticed something on the base paths or not. Not really any movement from Campbell Cassidy, the center fielder who's on second base right now. You would not want to record the third out on the base pass when you've finally gotten 2 men into scoring position for the first time today. 1-2 count still after the foul ball. 2 down, and this one is fouled down the third base line. Soren had a bead on it. And Vaughn continues to battle it out now with back-to-back foul balls on a 1-2 count. Trace Martin, the third baseman, would be next up if given the opportunity. Drew Smith on third. Close to being at least the first run across, but this one is popped straight up. Knightley going to get underneath it. This one, though, where is it going? He's called off by Cutler, who catches it on the mound. And a pop out to 6, even if it falls almost directly on the pitching rubber, will get the Vikings out of the jam. We go to the 6th. Oxford Hills with a 2-0 lead, and time starting to run out for the Red Eddies. You're watching high school baseball on BRG Sports.
Napa knows every driver deserves quality parts. With 27 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts is bringing quality to local communities. Our knowledgeable customer service teams and massive inventory helps us get the parts you need when you need them. And when you sign up for Napa Rewards, you'll save more each time you shop. Stop by one of our locations today to learn more. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
When it comes to banking, you deserve to have it all. With Dirigo, you can get that thing you really want with great rate credit cards and loans. You can have it all with Dirigo.
Back here at Austin Field as we go to the 6th. Vikings with a 2-0 lead, and Clay Robbins still on the mound here for Edward Little as they go through getting the balls cleared off the field and getting back to live action. So coming up for the Vikings here in this inning, we will see Andrew Merrill, the catcher and cleanup hitter, to lead things off. He got hit by a pitch on his left ankle last time up and struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Takes a called ball 1 low. And he fouls this second pitch offering straight up and well behind the backstop, out of play, 1-1. Wyatt Knightley on deck. Isaiah O'Farrell, the first baseman, in the hole. Those would be the first 3 up this inning. And the curveball, too low and outside from Robbins, making a 2-1 count now. Merrill, who's got some power, but he hasn't really seen a pitch he'd like to get around on, and he lays off that one high and outside for ball number 3. Vikings, who plated 2 runs last time with Lalonde and Doucette at the very bottom of the lineup, coming around to score, and Merrill hits this one sharply to Maselli at short, but the throw on to first could not be corralled by Merritt. Had to try and backhand that one, and he had plenty of time to do so, but the skip on the bounce comes off the bottom of his glove and bounced away. Could not field it clean, and the Vikings get one aboard on an E3. And that's going to bring a pinch runner on for the catcher. Not sure who that is for the Vikings, number 7 for them, but not one of their initially listed varsity players, so my apologies on that. But the pinch runner in is number 7 for the Vikings. White helmet with the protection on the left ear side is who has replaced Merrill on the base paths. Strike number 1 after a first ball on the pitch against Wyatt Knightley, and after he reached on a walk last time and had lined out to center field back in his first appearance in the second inning, looking to help out his cause offensively if he can advance the runner into scoring position. 1 on first, nobody out, and he's swinging away though and fouls that one straight back. Robbins trying to settle in here. He's had himself a good game on the mound, hasn't gotten the run support he'd like. 1-2 pitch on the way, and this one is fouled, coming over the top of our broadcast position here on the first base line. They're starting to run out of balls in the Edward Little dugout. Made immediately available. Knightley trying to bring a few more pitches from his opposite number here, and the curveball well off speed, I think because it slipped out of the hand of Robbins as he wipes his hand across his chest. Left-hand thrower coming, and this one is popped straight up in the air. And will it have enough to clear the backstop? Yes, it will. Hit and run was on, but now it is a 2-2 count. Robbins has been dealing today when he's been able to get that fastball across the top half of the strike zone. It's been a danger, but now he's been coming with the curveballs quite a bit, and they're not going to have a chance to get the throw down to second this time. Stolen base from our unnamed runner, unfortunately, on the base paths for the Vikings, but got in there with a great jump, and no throw comes from Will Cassidy behind the plate. Full count here. Pitch comes, swing and a miss, but that one bounced away. Time is called here, and did we have no pitch called? We've not having Knightley walk away from that. That was strike three, unless he got a piece of it. My apologies. He must have gotten something off the barrel of the bat there, which would have led to the catcher getting stung a little bit. And, of course, that has to be the case. Everyone else reacting like a routine play. So still a 3-2 count. Just a piece of that one. Stung it just off the base of the catcher's mask. And this one is fouled much harder straight back out of play. Good at bat here from Wyatt Knightley. He is working it. That's 4 foul balls from him. He gets some applause out of his dugout. 2-0 lead for the Vikings. Man on second with nobody out. Full count against the pitcher for the Vikings, Knightley, who's trying to help his own cause offensively. And he just does a little check swing that's going to drop into the danger area. Robbins is not going to get in time to cover, and the throw is off his glove and away. And the Vikings have plated another one, but they're going to get the tag. But that was just Knightley going back to the bag at first. Edward Little trying to argue that he had made a move towards second, which would mean he has to get back to the bag, but he was coming straight back from the chalk to it when the right fielder, Alex Avila, applied a tag as he had gotten over to cover. So he tried valiantly to argue his case, and out of the dugout it's going to come the Edward Little coaching staff once again. So Dave Jordan trying to plead his case. He'll at least have a discussion between the two umpires about it, of whether or not Knightley had turned towards second base and made him a live runner. But no, they do not change the call here. So the little infield single, just a check swing that finds a gap right in the Bermuda Triangle of second base, pitcher, and first baseman. Everyone went to the ball, nobody went to the bag, and Knightley scampers away with a fantastic at-bat. And the Vikings plate a run. Again, apologies we didn't have the name on that number 7 pinch runner for the Vikings who comes across. It's not one of the ones listed on the varsity roster for Oxford Hills, and we only got the batting order from them, not a full lineup card before today's game. So that's going to spell the end of the afternoon on the pitcher's mound for Clay Robbins. Won't be the end of the day for him, as he's going to head to the outfield, and that's going to bring, it would look like, Alex Avila in as the relief pitcher. So he will get a chance to go to the mound and get some warm-up throws in, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead, and they have one on base with nobody out here in this 6th inning. While they have the warm-up tosses here, we will take a short timeout ourselves. Vikings, 3-0 lead over the Red Eddies as we move to the very late stages of this one. You're watching Oxford Hills and Edward Little High School baseball on BRG Sports.
Napa knows every driver deserves quality parts. With 27 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts is bringing quality to local communities. Our knowledgeable customer service teams and massive inventory helps us get the parts you need when you need them. And when you sign up for Napa Rewards, you'll save more each time you shop. Stop by one of our locations today to learn more. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
It's understood in New England that Maine winters build character. At Ripley and Fletcher Ford, we've been building character for over 100 years. We kept you on the road when they were all made of gravel. We will continue to get you where you're going so you can enjoy the Maine winter. We are what other dealerships pretend to be. Ripley and Fletcher Ford, Oxford County's premier Ford dealer since 1909.
Back here at Austin Field, Alex Avila, the relief pitcher, has gotten himself warmed up and ready to go as he replaces Clay Robbins, who finishes with 104 pitches thrown and 5 strikeouts, but 2 earned runs, and did not get any run support for his very good outing for the tall left-handed throwing hitter, who will move into the outfield to replace Avila in a like-for-like swap. Vikings with 1 run across the plate here in the 6th inning, thanks to the infield single from Wyatt Knightley, who stands on first as the only base runner with nobody out, and Isaiah O'Farrow up to the plate, looking to help out his cause this afternoon. Not been a great one for him, 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts, as the Vikings also have players up in their bullpen. And looking for the sac bunt, but he ploops that one high into the air, and it is caught on the jog by Avila. And as far as sacrifice bunts go, that one pretty ugly from the first baseman. Knightley saw the danger coming as soon as it left the bat, so he stayed put and did not move. So 1 down, and that brings Hunter Tardif, the number 7 hitter and designated hitter, to the plate. Left-hand hitter in now against the right-handed throwing Avila, and he lays off the outside pitch for ball 1. Big cut at that one, but could not catch up to it. 1-1 the count now against him. Tardif, who led off last inning, grounding out to the to first base on a throw to the pitcher. And speaking of the pitcher, what a great pickoff move from Avila. He gets his opposite number, Knightley, moving. He flinched the wrong direction and could not get the hand back to the bag in time. He is picked off. Well, that's one way to help out your cause. Removes the base runner from the base paths. Vikings have already gotten that helpful insurance run across the plate, but now with 2 down and nobody on, suddenly things looking a lot less dangerous than they did about 60 seconds ago. Tardif hits this one foul down the first baseline, ranging away from Merritt. Ty LeBlanc, the center fielder, and Matthew Doucette, who both reached safely and scored last inning, as the first 2 runs across the plate and have provided a bit of a spark. Blonde, who's been the only one yet to be recorded as an out in the ball game, would be next up. Tardif gets hit on the left leg on that fastball inside, so he will take the free trip down to first base. And that will bring LeBlanc back to the plate. Well, the Vikings not really getting much use out of the bench in their dugout. Everyone has pulled seats up in the form of upside-down buckets directly to the fence in front, or are standing around the outside. So everybody getting close and getting themselves interested. And we've got a pinch runner coming into the game, it would appear. So Tardif gets plonked, and that will bring on, looks like Tegan Pelletier. He was the man being designated hit 4 today, but will get himself into the game as a pinch runner with 2 outs. LeBlanc, though, has already showed that he can get the ball moving, so if you can come through with another hit here, you want the fastest legs on the base paths that you can get, and the throw is back to first base. Not in time to get him, but Field is showing that he has a quick move and a fast arm gunning that ball over to first base. Comes to home plate this time, and the offering is low. Ball 1 against LeBlanc. Runner on first, not even moving as he comes to the plate. 2 inside, ball 2. And LeBlanc, the number 8 hitter, commanding some respect today. After some stolen bases and a nice double, the only extra base hit of the day, and the throw is back over to first base to get Pelletier moving once again. Fila taking his time as that right hand with the ball so low on his hip, but he brings it around like a whip in either direction here so far. He'll come to the plate this time, reaching for it was LeBlanc on a what looked like was supposed to be a hit and run. He got some contact on it, but not enough to knock it forward. 2-1 the count. Pitch is low and outside. Nice job by Cassidy to range over and field it on the backhand. But a 3-1 count now, and the advantage to LeBlanc to try and get 2 runners on the base paths with 2 down. 3-0 lead for Oxford Hills here in the 6th. And this one is hit hard into right field, but right at Robbins, who gets to it and will record the 3rd out. So a nice hit, but it cannot find a gap for LeBlanc, and he is retired for the first time today. And that will bring us to the bottom of the 6th. Edward Little starting to run out of time. 6 outs away from seeing themselves get shut out, needing 3 runs across the plate to keep this game moving into extra innings. And they do have the meat of their order coming up with Chase Martin, Jack Keefe, and Camden Maselli, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. All coming up in the order here. Martin, who has struck out, swinging and looking, but has had a couple of good at-bats in terms of foul balls and hitting some sharply down the line. Jack Keefe, who put a scare into the Vikings early with that long line shot to center field, but grounded out to shortstop in his last at-bat. And Maselli, who's been the most dangerous runner on the base paths for the Red Eddies. He's reached on a hit by pitch both times up and then scampered on a wild pitch. Did come across the plate only to be sent back to second base back in that 2nd inning, as a run was wiped out on the board because of a called out on the base paths for Edward Little. Knightley is going to stay in the game here for Oxford Hills. Thought we might see a couple of the options warming up in the bullpen become available. Soren, it looked like, was the one during the at-bats who was trying to get himself loosened up. And those two will exchange fist bumps. Soren heads on to third base, and we get set for the first batter of the bottom half of the inning for Edward Little. Chase Martin, the third baseman, will step up and dig in, trying to avoid a 3rd strikeout on the day. Knightley. We'll see how much he has left in the tank as we go deep into this game. And he comes to the plate with a fastball 2 inside for ball 1. 1-0 pitch, and this time, did he hit the batter? No, just about. Martin able to scramble out of the way with his elbow. That one goes right to the backstop, 2-0. 2-0 pitch. Knightley trying to find the strike zone here, and he does so with a nice fastball down the middle that has Martin swinging and missing it air. 2-1. Keefe and Maselli next up. Colin Merritt, the first baseman, would be the fourth hitter in this inning if he can get to it, as Martin out in front again, could not keep up with the off speed, and 2-2. Nice job battling back by Wyatt. He's gotten the run support the last couple of innings, now trying to finish things off himself. Oh, that one is turned on, but too early. Cranked foul down the left field line from Martin. He is showing what he's capable of here. He just hasn't been able to straighten one of those out so far this evening. Pitch is low and outside to make it a full count here for the leadoff hitter this inning. The extra pitch is not going to be helping the arm for Knightley. Takes his time here. Full count pitch, fouled away. Martin just got a piece on the underside of the bat. Well, it's what Edward Little would have wanted from their first hitter of the inning. Whatever you're going to do, make sure it takes the maximum amount of pitches to do it. So let's try it again. Full count pitch once again on the way. Well framed, but the umpire did not like it. Free trip down to first base. Ball for the call. Martin is a leadoff runner for the Red Eddies. Knightley is the one who turns to his infield and motions something to him in the signal of calm down. Know what they're working with here with a man on base. And that leads Jack Keefe, the left fielder, up to the plate. Curveball too high in the strike zone, ball one. Well, a 3-0 lead, the way this game has gone, feels nearly insurmountable. There's been so few hits spread out over the first 5 innings today, but just like with that, it doesn't take many swings to start to put runners into dangerous areas. Nice hit into left field, and there's a single, and runners on first and second now with nobody out. So Keefe comes through with a big hit. And that brings Maselli to the plate. Shortstop with runners on first and second, and nobody down. Knightley comes with a fastball, ground ball, chance to turn 2. Cutler over to Bennett in time to throw on to first. No, they say that O'Farrell was off the bag, and so they do not turn 2. And runners will be on the corners with 1 out. Close. Thought that the runner Maselli had beaten the throw over to first in time, but either way, the call that O'Farrell's foot had to come off the bag to pick up that throw over. So Keefe retired on the base pass from the 6-4 flip, but they cannot get the 6-4-3 double play to take a lot of the sting out. And a man now on third would be the first run for Edward Little. And with just 1 down, we'll see if they try to squeeze one in. But I would think with only 1 out and a tiring pitcher, they're going to be swinging away here looking to cause some more damage. First pitch is a ball against the first baseman, Colin Merritt. Merritt staring at that one all the way, and it is low for ball 2. Colin Merritt taking his time here. All he needs to do is find a hole, and he finds one there into right field. That one's going to get all the way back. 1 run will score. Second run coming around as well, and Edward Little in one swing of the bat finds themselves down by 1 on a long double into right field. Colin Merritt comes through in the clutch with a much-needed long hit. 2 RBI double. So Martin scores and Maselli follows suit, scampering around from first. So Knightley now talking with Andrew Merrill. No motion yet to pull him out of the game. So with a runner still in scoring position and just one down, Aiden Gonzalez will come to the plate. And it looks like there is a pinch runner into the contest here for Edward Little. We'll see if we can see a number on that when the back turns. And that should be Ethan Brochu, the freshman. Foul ball from Gonzalez. Struck out his first time up. He ground out to second in his appearance last inning. But a much different scenario here, as suddenly Edward Little has plated 2 runs after struggling all afternoon. They finally put a few together. And a chance to tie it up here. 0-1 pitch, fouled to the backstop, 0-2. Well, Gonzalez is getting closer and closer here. He's been swinging away all day. Hasn't yet been able to match the fastball, but if he can get the bat around on one of these, we might have a tie game on our hands. And he hits this one into left. Ranging back, Doucette gets underneath it. He makes the catch, and there's not going to be a chance for Brochu to tag up and advance on. Nice job to get underneath that long hit fly ball. 2 down. Runner still in scoring position, but task gets a little bit more difficult as Clay Robbins, the starting pitcher and now the right fielder, steps up. Reach base on a single into the gap in shallow center field, and he lines that one, turning foul all the way down the third base side. Oh, and 1 to Robbins. Brochu, nice big healthy lead at second. Pitch comes, just too high outside. Knightley with a long afternoon. Only has a 1-run lead to his advantage, but he is still dealing and very close to the strike zone. Could not quite paint that one on the outside corner. It's going to be a 2-1 count here as he tries to get himself out of the scoring position jam. Infield playing deep here. This one is golfed right up the middle, past the dive of Cutler into left field. Doucette will scoop it up. The throw not going to get to home plate. We are tied at 3 on an RBI single to left. Cutler threw himself across at that one, but it was a backhanded stab attempt, and he could not come up with it as Clay Robbins has negated what would be an L on his record with a nice RBI single. So Merritt, the man who is plated on that single there. 3 runs here in the 6th, and that is going to be the end of the day on the mound for Wyatt Knightley. Ethan Cutler looks like will be drafted in to replace him. So that would send Knightley over to shortstop in a like-for-like swap. So with some warm-up pitches needed to get him ready to come on in relief, we suddenly have a tie game on our hands. We'll take the timeout. 6th inning, 3-3 between the Vikings and Red Eddies here on BRG Sports.
When you're looking for your next vehicle, look no further than right here at Bessie Motor Sales. Bessie Motors has a large selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. With a sales, service, and collision center, we are Western Maine's one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Come see what all the buzz is about at Bessie Motor Sales and see all the great deals on our website at bessiemotor.com.
Biz Realty has been busy as bees to please buyers and sellers of real estate since 1984. Biz Realty is a full-service real estate agency for residential, commercial, industrial, waterfront, as well as farms, located on Main Street in historic South Paris. Their full-time associates are qualified, experienced professionals in the field with a strong connection to the community. Visit their website at bizrealty.net or call 743-9303. Go Vikings, Falcons, and Cougars from the team at Biz Realty.
Back here at Austin Field as Ethan Cutler has come on in relief of Wyatt Knightley, and with a new ball game on our hands after a 3-run 6th inning from the Edward Little Red Eddies to tie things up. With 2 down, they have a runner at first. That's Clay Robbins. And Alex Avila, the relief pitcher, is the man at the plate. Cutler sends that one in for ball 1. Cutler, kind of a fastball reliant pitcher. He has that quick delivery. Drops that leg very, very low as he turns and deals from the mound. But he cannot get that one in for a strike. It's ball 2. Fila's going to look to be patient here and see what the new one has to offer, and he'll take that one for strike 1. Campbell Cassidy waits on deck for the Red Eddies. Cutler inside with the fastball and leaning out of the way is Avila to take ball number 3. And delivers that one to the bottom part of the corner. Man is going for second. The throw down is in time. And how about that? After getting the second strike, Andrew Merrill comes up with a strike of his own. Fires down to second to get the base runner. And suddenly we head to the 7th inning. Side retired, but not before the damage done. Edward Little 3 runs across the plate. We are even Steven once again as we head to what could be the last inning, unless extras are needed. Vikings coming up next in the 7th. You're watching high school baseball on BRG Sports.
Looking for a new home without the hassle? Twin Town Homes in Oxford, Maine is serious about earning your business. Their no-pressure sales staff will walk you through the design and building process from start to finish. With their experienced excavation contractors, they can work with you in completing your project from the ground up. Let Twin Town Homes wow you with the perfect balance of quality and affordability you should expect from a home builder in business for 65 years. Visit Twin Town Homes, Route 26, Oxford, Maine today. Home shopping, hassle-free. TwinTownHomes.com. Let's go Vikings!
If you're a young adult 17 years or older and looking for a career opportunity in healthcare, then consider joining the amazing team at Market Square Health Center in South Paris. The Market Square CNA program has immediate openings for young men and women where you can earn and learn to become a certified nursing assistant, and no experience is necessary. Take the first step and call Marcy Winslow, Director of Nursing, at 743-7086, or visit us at marketsquarehealth.com. That's marketsquarehealth.com.
Back here in Auburn, Maine, as we move to our 7th inning, but no longer a chance for the Vikings to extend a lead. Instead, they're looking to break a tie, a 3-3 game after 3 runs plated by the Edward Little Red Eddies in the 6th inning. Chases Wyatt Knightley from the game. Now they'll be looking to rely on their relief pitcher, Alex Avila, to get them through the order here against Oxford Hills and give them a chance to win this one with a walk-off in the 7th. Oxford Hills will bring to the plate Matthew Doucette. Then back to the top of the order with Nick Bennett and Eli Soren, the three expected up here. And interesting to see there, a switch of gloves for the pitcher, Alex Avila, before he will come back to the mound and get ready to face his first batter. Everybody in on the infield here. Give some taps on the glove of Avila before he will get ready to face Matt Doucette, who had a nice bloop hit into shallow right field in the previous inning. He came around to score part of a back in the 5th inning, his last appearance. And he'll take a call, strike one. Avila's going to work very, very quickly here, and he comes right back with a fastball low and away to even the count at 1-1. Kind of similar to Robbins here. He just gets the ball, immediately picks up his sign, about 6 seconds, deals and throws, and this one is blooped. Back to the infield, ranging back. Maselli underneath it to put it away. So back to the top of the order we go. Nick Bennett, the second baseman, who has grounded out to third and short and struck out swinging. Or I should say did not ground out to third. He was retired as part of a double play after reaching on a leadoff walk back in the first inning. Watches that one low and outside on the right-handed hitter. So a 1-0 count. Vikings, after all that hard work to manufacture those runs, come across with a couple of hits here and there, 1 run scored, then 2. They're able to get themselves a 3-0 lead and then have it taken away in 1 inning is a tough one to bounce back from. Ground ball to Maselli, quick throw across. Merritt, no trouble this time. And a 6-3 putout means 2 down for the Vikings. Wind is starting to pick up again as some of the clouds, a little bit darker in color, have started to move in on us here at Mount Appetite. Eli Soren will step to the plate. Third baseman lined out to third, grounded out to first, and reached on a fielder's choice before scampering on from a throwing error. Has not yet hit safely today. He'll take strike one. Avila dealing with the fastball. Too low, ball one. Two-two pitch. That one got away from Avila. He shakes out his shoulder as he hopped away from the rubber. 2-1 count now. Soren deep in the batter's box, swung on that one and drills it to the very far left corner of the backstop. Evens the count at 2-2. 2 down, nobody on. Vikings trying to extend something here in the inning and avoid giving last ups with a chance to win it to Edward Little. And this one's hit down the left field line, but drifting foul and will fall against the base of the fence. Soren's had a number of those today, just hasn't been able to straighten one out, put a drive into it, and maybe challenge one of the outfielders to have to come in and make a catch. Still a 2-2 count. Avila taking his time here. Stretches out that right arm just a little bit before stepping in to toe the rubber. Winds and delivers, and that one to the outside corner, swung on and missed. Strike out to retire the Vikings in order. Red Eddies fired up. And they will come to the plate with a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 7th. So coming up for Edward Little. Should still see Avila here, who did not finish his at-bat after the inning ended with the rare caught stealing over at second. That would be Campbell Cassidy following him, and then back to the top of the order with Patrick Anthoine. Cutler, only a handful of pitches there. He had worked a full count against Avila with a strike delivered before Andrew Merrill came back with that strike of his own over to second to record the third out on the base paths. So we will maybe get a chance to see what Cutler's got here. Not a chance to close out the game, but a chance certainly to set the table for his side and try to send this one to extra innings. So the Vikings look good to go. Looks like we might have a few more changes coming in for Edward Little at some point here. But for right now, Avila will come to the plate. Just had to be brushed off first by our home plate umpire before he'll take the walk out behind the pitcher's mound and get us set to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Cutler takes a look from the mound, winds, steps, delivers a strike down the middle. No, they're going to say just 2 outside, ball 1. Avila started to come around with the bat, but held off enough. And he will crank this one into left field. Doucette ranging back. He gets himself underneath it and will make the catch. Good compact swing from Avila. Put a charge into that one, but did not have the power to trouble Doucette in the outfield. And so we'll go to Campbell Cassidy, the center fielder, up as the number 9 hitter. Cutler delivers, and this one is popped into center field. LeBlond will catch that one on the run as well. And back-to-back fly balls to the outfield. Quickly, 2 outs. Patrick Anthoin now, the leadoff hitter, comes up. Struck out looking, flew out to center field, and popped up to the shortstop. So 0 for 3 on the day this afternoon. Cutler wasted no time, comes with the curveball for strike 1. And time called. Anthoin just wanting to step out very quickly there as Cutler looked ready to go, and he is ready to go. Comes back with another curveball. Not getting Anthoin any time to set his sights and gauge the pitches, and Cutler's ready again to deal. 2 outs, nobody on, 0-2 count, looking to get the side done quickly. Induces the ground ball. Could not be fielded cleanly by Knightley. Glances off his backhand. Would have been a tough one to try and get the out as he was very deep on the edge of the infield. So call it what you like, E6 or an infield single. Either way, the end result the same. And Anthoin standing at first base. So Cutler comes to the plate against Chase Martin here, who steps up quickly. He reached on a ball and was the first run across the plate, part of that 3-run 6th inning that got us to this point. Quick throw back over to O'Farrell at first, sends Anthoin back to the bag head first. 1-0 count against Martin. Not going to change with that pitch there. Trying to challenge him without leaving something over the middle to perhaps move the runner into scoring position. 2-0 count, runner on first with 2 down. 2 fly ball outs recorded here by the Vikings. Nice pitch coming right back down the middle. 2-1. This one fouled straight back and out of play. So that will even up the count here. 2-2, 2 out, 1 on first. Tie game here in the bottom of the 7th. A run would win it for Edward Little, trying the 2-out rally. The Vikings trying to send this to extras. Curveball, strike 3, looking on Chase Martin, and we will play some bonus baseball. Vikings, after seeing the 3-run lead evaporate, nice 1, 2, 3, or excuse me, a 2 outs and 1 runner on to get themselves to extras. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll start the 8th inning. Vikings and Red Eddies from Auburn, Maine here on BRG Sports.
The best way I could describe working with Hammond Lumber, our relationship, is like working with a group of friends.
Their service is excellent in the store. You walk in, there's always somebody there waiting to help you.
Delivery, on-site help, whatever's needed, they're there for us.
Aggressive on the pricing. They have all the materials and products we need.
Their sales service is exceptional.
They deliver everything when we expect it to be delivered.
It always comes back to service, with Hammond Lumber being the most important thing.
Did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? It's one of those things you just don't know until you know. So now you know. Your local State Farm agent knows how to help you protect your car and stuff for a surprisingly great rate. Want to know how much you can save? Talk to a State Farm agent today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Get the real deal from State Farm agent Joshua Lynn in Turner, Maine.
Top of the 8th inning here at Austin Field as we go to extras. Oxford Hills and Edward Little tied at 3 upon the completion of 7. Vikings took a lead with a 3-0 advantage going into the 6th after they scored 2 in the 5th and got another one in the 6th inning. Edward Little rallies back to tie the game. Avila still on the mound, and Cutler leading things off for the Vikings, the starting shortstop and relief pitcher. Grounded out with a little dribbler that the catcher threw down the first baseline last time out. Is also ground out to second and grounded out to the pitcher. So a lot of ground balls been the story for number 4 today. 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Avila delivers too low. So a 2-1 count against him. Cutler has got a nice compact swing if he can find a hole here, and he might just have one there. Hit sharply, Maselli could not handle it, off his glove into left field, and Cutler aboard. That's the type of power he can generate there. That one hit like a quick little pinball right at the shortstop, and he got himself in front of it, but that ball was skipping. Cutler on first. And Andrew Merrill, the cleanup hitter, steps up. The catcher reached home plate after reaching safely on an error and then having himself a stolen base. Came home on the single. Throw over to first gets Cutler going back to the bag. Fields got that quick pickoff move, so you've got to be careful over at first base. 1-0 count against him. And the runner is going. Cutler trying to get into second. He will safely. Cutler's not happy about something there. I think he had contact on his helmet from the covering Anthoin. And Cutler going to take his time getting back to his feet and get everything sorted out here. Pitch was a ball, by the way, so Cutler safely into scoring position in a 2-0 count against Andrew Merrill, who now has a chance to deliver the go-ahead run. Avila taking a look back at the bag. Cutler daring him to throw at him. Arrogantly stepping wider and wider with that bigger lead. He'll have to be careful because Anthoin is behind the bag if they try the move. 3-0 count now after the pitch outside against Merrill. And Avila is preoccupied. Comes to the plate, and Merrill was dreaming about crushing that one over the fence. Instead sends it to the backstop. Just missed it. He knows it too. 3-1 count against him as the right-hand hitter digs back in, deep in the batter's box. Cutler still moving. And the pitch low in the dirt, and Cutler is going for third. He got in there safely. My goodness. Dove head first. There was contact on the arm, and now Merrill very alertly rounds the bag at first after the walk and scampers on to second. And the Red Eddies caught off guard, suddenly see runners at second and third with nobody out. Time is called here. And I think that's just going to be to try and settle things down for the Red Eddies. Coach Jordan coming out to the mound, gets everybody in from the infield. He will have a little chat here. Excuse me. How about that move from Ethan Cutler to go down to third on the called ball 4? He was moving with a very big lead off of second, almost daring Avila to try and pick him off. And I think he was in that position where if Avila made the move to go back to second, he was going to take off for third quickly. He was almost thrown out on a brilliant throw down the line by Will Cassidy, but it bounced away from Chase Martin as he tried to apply the tag at third base. And then Merrill, after reaching on the walk, he quickly takes second because everyone was preoccupied. Well, Avila's going to try and settle in here and throw strikes. He'll start that off against Wyatt Knightley, the starting pitcher, and now shortstop, after being replaced by Cutler on the mound in a positional swap. Reached first base with a single, but was picked off on a great pickoff move from Avila after he entered the ballgame. That helped settle things down. 1-1 count against him after that pitch was low in the dirt, but blocked off well by Cassidy so no one could come for home. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Knightley looks at that one, but it's well outside and low. 2-1. Time is called from the dugout, and they're just going to choose to intentionally walk Knightley here to load up the bases. They want the double play ball in and available. So it came a little bit late there, but with the 2-1 count, I suppose you can understand it. So give Knightley the free pass down to first, and that will bring up Isaiah Ufero, who is looking to get out of a slump. 2 strikeouts and a pop out to the pitcher. Watch his first one in there for a call, strike 1. Well, that might be a bit of coaching and realizing who's coming up in the lineup here from Dave Jordan. Bases loaded, nobody out. Top of the 8th in extra innings. O'Farrell pops it up, but it'll go back out of play. 0-2 against him now. Hunter Tardif, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Oh, and 2 count. Avila going to take his time here. Looking for his second strikeout of the afternoon. Just outside with the curveball, 1-2. Going to try and make O'Farrell work for it. First baseman, right-handed hitter, settling in. Knows a base hit anywhere, gives his team at least the go-ahead run on 1. Check swing, he didn't go, and the umpire didn't call strike 3. 2-2 now. Cutler on third, Merrill on second, Knightley on first for the Vikings. Cutler trying to distract the pitcher on the base pass, but he comes to the plate with a fastball. Swing and a miss from O'Farrell, struck him out for the 3rd time. Second of the day for Avila. So 1 down. And it will not be Hunter Tardif coming to the plate here. Instead, it is Tegan Pelletier, and who is being pinch hit for, or designated hit for, I should say. Check swing did not come around at the low offering. Nice job by Cassidy to trap it down low and not allow it to get free to the backstop to plate a run. 1-0. Pelletier watches that one down the middle for strike 1. 1-1 count, 1 out, bases juiced in a 3-3 ball game, and the offering is low from Avila. 2-1 count now. Infield playing pretty shallow and tight here, except at third. Vikings just need to find a hole. This one's hit into left field with a drop fair. No, curling off to the left. It was hit well, just not quite straight enough from Pelletier, who gave it a ride into the outfield. Just a very long strike, 2-2. Well, such a good ball game between these two clubs. Vikings trying to stay perfect, Edward Little looking for their 6th win. 2-2 pitch from Avila. Too high, ball 3 and a full count in a bases loaded ball game in extra innings. And Pelletier with his first at bat of the night doesn't get much more of a pressure packed scenario than this one. Noise coming from both dugouts, loud as it's been. Pitch is low, ball 4, and a run comes across the plate on a patient at bat from Tegan Pelletier. Ethan Cutler scores for a 4-3 Oxford Hills lead. So everybody advances 1. Merrill now sitting at third after the walk, as does Knightley. That will bring up Ty LeBlond, and he's going to hit this one into shallow left. Cannot be dove for a catch. Instead, flip to the center fielder who throws to third. Not in time, it skips away, but it is too close, being backed up by Avila. Merrill scores just one more across, and it's again Ty LeBlond doing the damage with another seeing eye single. RBI across the plate and a 5-3 Vikings lead, and still the bases are loaded with 1 out. Well, that was a good hit. Jack Keefe came a long way, but hit so shallow he was going to have to gamble. Did a nice job to block that one on the failed dive to keep it from rolling behind him, and then a heads-up play. Flip the ball to your center fielder, Campbell Cassidy, who's standing up. Sacrifice squeeze is on. The bunt gets past Avila, and that is Matthew Doucette plating a run as he gets an infield single. Oh, my. The squeeze was on. Avila came charging. He just forgot to pick up the baseball. Well, the bottom of the order has done the damage tonight for the Oxford Hills Vikings. Doucette with a second hit. And an RBI to boot there. Nice play to plate Knightley. 6-3 the Vikings lead as they have doubled their run total in 1 inning here in extras. But with the bases still loaded and 1 out, they're trying to put this game beyond all doubt. Nick Bennett at the top of the order. Takes a 1-1 pitch in there. One and one count. Avila takes a long look at third. Comes to the plate. Bennett going to golf this one into right field. It is caught. Tag up. Going to home is Pelletier. Not in time. Or excuse me, not safe. He was tagged out on the attempt to score, and that will be the 3rd out. So the Vikings get 3, but perhaps leave a few more on the boards, but can't give them too much of a hassle for trying to get the extra 1 out of there on the fly ball to right field. That was just a nice throw by the starting pitcher from today's game, Clay Robbins. Got that one in a hurry. And so we go to the bottom of the 8th. Vikings have done their part offensively. Now Ethan Cutler, who started it all off, being a thorn in the side of his counterpart on the base paths with 2 stolen bases before coming home. Can he finish off things on the mound for his side? So let's recap that scoring for you, how this all got started. Ethan Cutler able to reach on a single. Then that was followed by a walk to Andrew Merrill, which at the same time, Cutler had already stolen second. He then stole third on the ball 4. While they were trying to throw him out at third, Merrill took the turn and went to second, and suddenly they had runners at second and third with nobody down. They intentionally walked Wyatt Knightley to load the bases up, got Isaiah O'Farrell to strike out swinging, but Tegan Pelletier with a well-earned full count walk, able to plate the go-ahead run. Ty LeBlanc then came through as he has tonight with a single into shallow left field. That plated another. And Matthew Doucette was what was supposed to be a sacrifice bunt on the squeeze play. And instead he squeezed it past all the Chargers, rolled it past the pitcher's mound for an infield bunted single and an RBI. Now Cutler steps to the plate and offers the first pitch of the bottom of our 8th inning. That is fouled back out of play by Jack Keefe. Number 3 hitter and left fielder is up first, followed by Camden Maselli and Colin Merritt. It's a good part of the order to have up if you're the Edward Little Red Eddies and you know that you need to put together some runs. They've already extended the game once with 3 runs in an inning. Can they do it again here? 0-2 quickly, though, against Keefe. Cutler not wasting any time. Dealin comes back just too low and outside. Ball 1. One and 2 here from Cutler. He's going to deliver. Oh, that one was a low curveball. Got away from Merrill, but he will pick up the loose ball and throw to O'Farrell to complete the out. Struck him out. Throw him out. Nice job by Keefe, though, to realize that ball got away, and he was off very quickly down the base pass to try and run something out. Camden Maselli, the shortstop, steps in. He will take a call first strike. And Cutler is not showing any sign of nerves here. 0-1 pitch coming quickly away. This one is grounded down to third. Quick throw across from Soren. Ooh, it was caught by O'Farrell, and he applied the tag on the base path. Maselli wanted interference as he was on the run, but the problem was the throw pretty much got there at the same time he did, and so he was tagged at the very moment that he was trying to pass Isaiah O'Farrell. Nice job. Soren's throw taking O'Farrell off the leg, but the heads-up play. So not the way that a 5-3 putout usually goes on a ground ball, but it is 2 down nonetheless. And a strike 1 against Colin Merritt. Edward Little down to their last at bat. 6-3 here in extra innings. Merritt going to hit that one past the dive of Soren into left field. Doucette will quickly field it, and the 2-out single gives the Red Eddies some hope here. Merritt goes to the opposite side that he did last time up when he hit a double into right field that rolled almost all the way to the fence. And he's going to be replaced with a pinch runner on the base paths here. Looks to be Drew Smith. So this brings up Aiden Gonzalez with 2 down. He is looking to bust out of his slump today. 0 for 3 with a strikeout, ground out, and a fly out to left field. Takes a strike 1. And this one is just grounded and rolls foul down the first base line. I was surprised that that one landed in fair territory first, but it quickly took a right turn on the first base side, make it an 0-2 count. Red Eddies down to their final strike. Down 6-3, they've got 1 on first. Gonzalez trying to come through with a second 2-out base hit. Cutler looking to end it right here. Fires, and that one is 2 inside, ball 1. Gonzalez was turning away so much on the inside, and that sound as it hit the glove of Andrew Merrill, almost thought for a moment he had hit Aiden Gonzalez, who digs back in. And that curveball hits the outside corner, called strike 3. Mass gets whipped off by Andrew Merrill, and everybody mobs Ethan Cutler, who is able to finish things off after starting the offensive rally back in the top half of the inning. Give this Edward Little team a lot of credit as they battled back in the late innings here to force the game to extras. A smart, very good 6th inning from them, but this Vikings team did not let that get them down as they bounced back quickly to quickly get themselves into extras and then did their damage there. And a fine performance from the Vikings to keep that perfect record intact. They run it to 6-0. Good to see both teams acknowledge each other there on either base path. And the Vikings will now have a nice time to celebrate here in the dugout. Well, we've got a fine game to recap for you. We will do that coming up next on our Ripley and Fletcher Ford post-game show. Stay tuned for that because we still need to name a Bessie Motors player of the game. We will do that coming up after the break. You're watching high school baseball on BRG Sports.
It's understood in New England that Maine winters build character. At Ripley and Fletcher Ford, we've been building character for over 100 years. We kept you on the road when they were all made of gravel. We will continue to get you where you're going so you can enjoy the Maine winter. We are what other dealerships pretend to be. Ripley and Fletcher Ford, Oxford County's premier Ford dealer since 1909.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
Subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Get the real deal from State Farm agent Joshua Lynn in Turner, Maine.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When it comes to banking, you deserve to have it all. With Dirigo, you can get that thing you really want with great rate credit cards and loans. You can have it all with Dirigo.
Back here at Austin Field as we wrap things up for you on our Ripley and Fletcher Ford postgame show. I'm Caleb Lamb. Thanks for joining us here tonight for high school baseball. A little extra here, 2.5 hour long game approximately as we went 2 extra innings, or extra inning in this case, to find a final score as the Vikings improved to 6-0 and dropped the Red Eddies to 5-2 with a 6-3 win in 8. And if that is a sign of what's to come the next couple of times these two teams match up, it ought to be a good one. And also want to thank our presenting sponsors on this one, Play It Again Sports. No home runs presented by Play It Again Sports today, but Play It Again nonetheless a big part of our coverage here of high school sports and not too far away from our location here in Auburn. We are on our Ripley and Fletcher Ford post-game show. Let's recap how we got through this contest. Oxford Hills and Edward Little saw both their starting pitchers dueling against each other early. Clay Robbins for EL and Wyatt Knightley on the mound for the Vikings as they went back and forth. Robbins able to deliver 2 strikeouts in that second inning, but Knightley had answered with 2 of his own in the first and 2 more in the second. And also got another one in the 4th inning to finish his day with 5. Robbins added another strikeout in the 3rd and 1 more swinging in the 4th. Both of them went pretty far along before they allowed a hit. Ty LeBlond was able to get the first one on the board for the Vikings in the bottom of the 3rd, excuse me, in the top of the 3rd inning as he hit a double, lacing it down the first base line. But nothing came of it offensively. Really, the only base runners were hit batsmen and walks, and neither team was able to capitalize. Edward Little came the closest. They actually brought a man across the plate as they scored Camden Maselli, only to have it wiped out after the first base umpire ruled that Colin Merritt's bunt attempt had actually hit him on the right foot as he was running down the first base line. So that ruled him as an out, instead of being able to reach second on a fielding error at first. And that sent Maselli back to second base after scoring on the error. He was not able to be brought back home. Vikings then ended up taking first blood as they scored 2 in the 5th inning. Ty LeBlanc reaching on a walk, stealing a base, then getting knocked over to third on a single by Matthew Doucette. He was then brought in on a fielder's choice on an error that allowed him to scamper home. Matthew Doucette also scored after getting into scoring position. Excuse me, and that was a 2-0 lead that was built into a 3-0 lead in the top of the 6th when Andrew Merrill scored on a nice hit by Wyatt Knightley. Looked like that was going to be enough, really, but after the pitching change brought in Alex Avila, he got himself out of the jam, picking off Knightley on the base paths and then retiring the side. And suddenly, Edward Little Red Eddies had life. Bottom half of the 6th inning, and they got themselves rallying back to knock Knightley out of the game. Reaching on a walk, Chase Martin then advanced to second on a single, got to third on a fielder's choice, and after Camden Maselli came through with getting himself on base with a hit, a double was recorded by Merritt into right field. He plated 2 with that, and then he was brought home to score as well, with Clay Robbins tying things up on a hit to left field. And that brought in the relief pitcher, Ethan Cutler, the shortstop swapping positions with Knightley. He was able to finish things off in regulation to get us to the 8th inning in a 3-3 tie. Vikings, though, did their work offensively there. Fantastic job starting off with Ethan Cutler, who reached on a single, then stole second, then stole third on a walk to Andrew Merrill, which in the confusion trying to throw him out allowed Merrill to get into scoring position as well. They intentionally walked Wyatt Knightley to load the bases, got Isaiah O'Farrill striking out swinging, but a well-earned walk by Tegan Pelletier plated 1. Ty LeBlanc then hit one into shallow left to score another, and Matthew Doucette with a sacrifice bunt that squeezed past everyone saw another run come across, and the Vikings had done the damage. Colin Merritt extended things with a 2-out single to get the Red Eddies some hope, but Aiden Gonzalez unable to come through, struck out looking at a curveball on the outside corner to end the game for Ethan Cutler. That's also going to bring us to our Bessie Motors Player of the Game to announce here, and really a tough one to pick from here, some deserving players, but one of those ball games where you just kind of grind out the runs. No one's really, your RBI king, but one player stands above the others for his efforts tonight, and that is center fielder Ty LeBlanc with that first extra base hit, the first hit of anybody in the ball game back in the 3rd. Got himself into scoring position by stealing third base, then did it again in the 5th when he stole second after a nice walk, ended up coming home to score, and then getting himself with another big hit in the 8th inning to plate a run. Ty LeBlanc, fantastic day for him, only recorded an out one time, and that was on a fly out to right field. He is your Bessie Motors Player of the Game. And that is going to wrap things up for us here on our coverage today. Again, hope that you enjoyed coverage of this one. We've got quite a bit of spring high school athletics coming up with plenty more Oxford Hills and Edward Little ball games in effect. You'll next hear my voice coming up with some lacrosse action later on in the week. Remember, you can check out brgsports.me for a list of all upcoming broadcasts across the sports family coverage for the BRG radio network and for our live streaming video. That is going to wrap things up for us, though. Your final score for the final time from Austin Field in Auburn. It's Edward Little 3, Oxford Hills 6 in 8 innings. I'm Caleb Lamb saying so long. We'll see you next time on BRG Sports.